Hello and welcome to my channel, Podcast by MrZ. I am MrZ.
And I am Sarah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast by MrZ. I'm MrZ, and I'm so thrilled you're here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you. How are you doing, Mr. Z?
I'm doing wonderful, Sarah. I'm actually very happy today. The sun is shining, and I'm excited about our topic.
That's wonderful. Sunny days really do make you feel better. What about you, everyone listening? How are you doing today?
Sarah, I can tell you're excited too. What's making you so energized?
Well, today's topic is really special. We're going to talk about something that can completely change how you speak English.
A really important topic.
Yes, today we're discussing how to train your brain to speak in English. It's a big topic, but such a valuable one.
Train your brain, like exercise, but for your mind?
Exactly. And the best part? It's not difficult, and it's actually very fun.
I love that approach. Before we dive deep into our lesson, we want to ask for your support.
Yes, if you're enjoying Podcast by Mr. Z, please click the like button. That little thumbs up button means so much to us.
And please subscribe to our channel. Subscribing is very important because it helps us create more episodes for you to learn from.
We really appreciate every single subscription. Also, please share this episode with your family and friends. Sharing helps more people discover us and improve their English.
Your support is what keeps us going. Now, let's get into this fascinating topic about training your brain.
Perfect. Let's start with a question for you, Mr. Z. When you speak English, what's happening in your brain?
That's a great question. Well, honestly, sometimes I think in my native language first.
Yes, many learners do that. Can you explain what you mean?
Sure. I think of a word in my first language, then I mentally translate it into English, and then I speak the English word. It's like my brain is doing extra work.
Exactly. And here's the important part. That process is very slow. Your brain has to do multiple steps before you can speak.
It's really hard work for my brain. All that translating takes time.
It does. But here's the exciting news. There's a better way. Our big, happy goal is to help you think directly in English.
Think in English without translating?
Yes, when you can think in English, speaking becomes fast and natural. No translation needed, just pure English.
That sounds amazing. But how do we get there? It seems like a huge change.
We start very small, like really small. We start with one word, but better yet, we start with small sentences.
Small sentences? Can you give me an example?
Of course. Look at this pen I have here. You could just think, pen, but that's not very helpful. Instead, think a small sentence about it.
Like what?
You could think, this is my pen, or my pen is blue. See? Small, simple sentences, but complete thoughts in English.
Oh, I see. That's much better. You're thinking in phrases, not just isolated words.
Exactly. And here's the key. You do this all day, every day. It becomes a natural habit.
All day, even when I'm not studying?
Yes, throughout your entire day. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you wake up in the morning.
Okay, I wake up. What do I think?
Well, you stretch your body and get ready for the day. What thoughts could you have in English?
I could think, I am awake, or I am hungry. I want coffee.
Perfect. Those are exactly the kinds of thoughts. As you move through your morning, you keep thinking these small sentences.
So I could think, I go to the kitchen. I open the door.
Yes, exactly like that. This is actually training your brain to think in English without translating.
So just by describing my day to myself in English, I'm training my brain?
Absolutely. Your brain is making connections between what you see and the English words. You're not translating from another language. You're thinking directly in English.
That's amazing. So when I'm brushing my teeth, I could think in English?
Yes, you could think, I brush my teeth. The water is cold. I see my face. These thoughts strengthen your English brain.
This is tip number 1, right?
Yes. Let me state it clearly. Tip number 1 is to think in small sentences throughout your day.
I love that. It's simple and practical. Can I practice right now?
Absolutely. Let's practice together. Describe what you're doing and thinking right now, but in English.
Okay, let me try. I am sitting down. I am speaking into a microphone. I am thinking about my English. This is interesting.
Wonderful. You're doing it perfectly. Notice how you're not translating. You're just thinking in English about what's happening around you.
You're right. It feels different but good. I'm connecting English directly to my actions and my life, not to my first language.
That's the big secret right there. You're connecting English to real life, not to translation.
So this is all day, every day?
Yes. When you're on the bus, think, I see a window, I see a red car, a man is walking, it is a sunny day. These small observations in English are training your brain.
I can definitely do this. Now, you mentioned there are more tips. What's tip number 2?
Tip number 2 is input. Input means English coming into your brain through your ears and eyes.
So input is listening and reading.
Exactly. When you listen to English, your brain hears the patterns, the sentences, the rhythm, the structure of the language.
Like I am, you are, he has, those kinds of patterns?
Yes, your brain hears these patterns repeatedly, and they start to feel natural. The rhythm and music of English becomes familiar to you.
The music of English. I like that way of describing it.
Right? It's not just words, it's the flow, the melody of how English sounds. Now, what kinds of input should people seek out?
What would you recommend?
Well, obviously, Podcast by MrZ is great input. We're here, speaking naturally, and you're hearing English patterns.
That's helpful to know. What else?
Simple songs. Music is wonderful input because when you like the music, learning doesn't feel like work. It feels fun.
I love that. Learning should be enjoyable, not a burden.
Exactly. Find simple English songs that you actually enjoy. Maybe pop songs. Many pop songs are very repetitive, which is great for learning.
Repetitive? Why is that good?
Because your brain hears the same words and phrases again and again. Like a love song might repeat, I love you, many times. Your brain absorbs it naturally.
So music helps me hear patterns repeatedly.
Yes, and since you enjoy the music, it doesn't feel like studying. You're naturally learning.
What other kinds of input are there?
Watching videos. Videos are input for your eyes and ears at the same time. Movies can be good, but sometimes they're too fast and use advanced vocabulary.
So movies might be too difficult?
For beginners, yes. The words come too quickly, and the vocabulary might be too advanced. But you can find other videos.
What kind of videos?
Think about what interests you. For example, if you like cooking, find simple cooking videos in English.
Oh, that's a great idea. The person would say, I see the tomato, I see the salt, and then I cut the tomato, I add salt.
Perfect example. You connect the words directly to the actions. There's no translation needed because you see what's happening.
What if someone likes sports?
Then find short videos about football or basketball. The commentator might say, he kicks the ball, it is a goal. You see the action and hear the English at the same time.
So the input is better when it connects to something I already like?
Absolutely. When content is interesting and relevant to you, your brain engages more. It's not boring, it's attractive to your mind.
What other kinds of input help?
Travel videos are wonderful. Videos about different cities and countries. This is Paris. It is beautiful. I see the Eiffel Tower. You're learning while exploring the world through video.
These all sound so much better than traditional textbooks.
They are, because learning becomes fun and natural. You're feeding your brain English through things you enjoy.
So tip number 2 is input. Listen to simple podcasts and songs. Watch simple videos about things you're interested in. Cooking, sports, travel, whatever interests you.
Exactly. This input makes your brain strong in English because you're consistently hearing and seeing the language in context.
I'm ready for tip number 3. Are you going to tell me?
Yes. Tip number 3 is output. Output means English coming out of your brain when you speak.
So input is English in and output is English out.
Perfect way to understand it. But here's what many learners worry about. They think they need a partner to practice speaking.
Don't you need someone to talk to?
That helps, but it's not necessary. You can speak to yourself.
Speak to myself? Won't people think I'm crazy?
Only if you do it in public. Do it in your room, in your car, or in the shower. It's a fantastic way to train your brain.
Okay, so I'm alone in my room. What do I say?
Look around your room and describe it. Speak out loud. It's important that your ears hear your own voice.
Let me try. This is my room. I see a bed. The bed is big. I have a table. The table is brown. I see 2 chairs. There is a lamp. The lamp is on. I have a computer. My computer is black.
Wonderful. That was excellent, Mr. Z. Do you notice something important? You weren't translating, right?
No, I saw the bed and said bed. I saw the table and said table. I was connecting the objects directly to the English words.
That's exactly it. You're building English in your brain by connecting objects to words directly. No translation needed.
This feels strange but good at the same time.
It will feel strange at first, but your brain is getting stronger. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Can I also talk about my day this way?
Of course. In the evening while you're in bed, you could say, "Today I was happy. I ate pasta for lunch. I talked to Sarah. Sarah is very smart."
Sarah is very smart. I like that.
And Sarah might say, "Mr. Z is very kind." You're both speaking and thinking in English about your experiences.
So I don't need a conversation partner to do output?
A partner is wonderful and very helpful, but you don't need one to start. You can begin right now by speaking to yourself.
What should I say when I'm speaking to myself?
Describe your world. What am I doing now? I am sitting down. I am working. I am thinking about English. Even simple narration of your life is output practice.
Or I could describe making a meal. I am cooking. I cut the tomato. The tomato is red. I am happy about this.
Yes, that's perfect output practice. You're speaking English sentences about real actions in your life.
So tip number 3 is output. Speak to yourself. Describe your room, describe your day, describe what you're doing right now. Do it out loud.
Exactly. Now let's review all 3 tips. Are you ready?
Yes, let me hear the summary.
Tip number 1, think in small sentences all day. I am walking. I am reading. I am thinking. Small, complete thoughts in English.
All day, every day, in all situations.
Yes. Tip number 2, input. Listen and watch things you enjoy. Easy English podcasts like Podcast by MrZ, simple songs, videos about cooking, sports, travel, whatever interests you.
Input that comes naturally through things we already enjoy.
Perfect. And tip number 3, output. Speak to yourself. Describe your room. Describe your day. Describe what you're doing. Speak out loud.
Those are 3 fantastic tips. But I have a question. Is it fast? Will my brain change tomorrow?
That's a very honest question, Mr. Z. The answer is no. It won't change overnight. Learning a language is slow.
Oh, that's a little disappointing.
But wait, that's actually okay, because slow progress is still progress, and slow learning is more permanent. You're building real skills, not just memorizing.
So I should be patient with myself?
Absolutely. Be patient and be kind to your brain. Talk to your brain and say, "Hello, brain. I am going to be kind to you."
That's sweet. How often should I do these tips?
You don't need 2 hours of studying every day. If you have 2 hours, that's wonderful. But most people don't. So studying 10 to 15 minutes every day is actually very good.
So small steps every day is better than big steps rarely?
Exactly. Consistency is more important than duration. Small practice every single day is more effective than intensive study once a week.
What if I make a mistake when I'm speaking to myself?
Great question. Mistakes are actually good. Mistakes are normal, and mistakes mean you're learning.
They mean I'm learning?
Yes. When you make a mistake, you notice it. You think, "Oh, okay," and you try again. Mistakes help your brain learn better.
So I shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes?
Not at all. Don't be afraid to be wrong. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a language. It's part of the process.
What else is important for this brain training?
Have fun. If it's not fun, you'll stop doing it. So choose videos about things you love. Choose music you enjoy. Make learning an adventure, not a burden.
I like watching cooking videos, and I like talking to you, Sarah. Both of those are fun.
Exactly. When you combine tips 1, 2, and 3, thinking in English, taking in English content you enjoy, and speaking out loud in English, your brain becomes stronger.
It's like exercising for your English brain.
That's the perfect way to think about it. Your English brain is growing stronger with each practice.
Sarah, this has been such valuable information. I feel like our listeners will really benefit from these tips.
I hope so. We've covered so much ground about training your brain. The key points are: think small, take in good input, and produce output by speaking.
And do it daily, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, consistency wins over intensity. Now, before we finish, we have a few more things to say.
What's that?
We have a request for our listeners. Please don't forget to subscribe to Podcast by MrZ if you haven't already.
Subscribing helps us continue making these easy, fun episodes that help you learn English.
And please share this episode. If you have a friend who's learning English, send them this link. Share the fun and the learning.
Now we have a special question for all of you listening.
Yes, this is like homework, but fun homework. We want you to leave a comment below with your answer.
The question is, what do you do to train your brain for English?
Do you listen to music? Do you speak to yourself? Do you watch cooking videos? Do you read?
Write your tips and your experiences in the comments. We want to read them.
We truly do. Your comments inspire us and help other learners see different approaches that work.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Podcast by MrZ. This has been such a fun and informative discussion.
We really appreciate your time and your commitment to learning English. You're doing something important for yourself.
Remember these 3 tips: think in English, consume English input you enjoy, and speak out loud in English.
Be patient with yourself, be kind to your brain, and most importantly, have fun.
Your English brain is growing. Every day you practice, you're getting stronger and more confident.
We believe in you. You can do this.
This is MrZ from Podcast by MrZ. Thank you for learning with us.
I'm Sarah. Keep thinking in English, keep listening, and keep speaking.
We'll see you in our next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep training that brain.